My name is Mark Bernat. I'm getting a PhD in economics. In this video, we're going to be talking about Russia's long-term plan. And I mean long-term, and how to stop it. What is the strategy to stop this plan for world domination? Well, let me tell you a story. I live in a Florida swamp, basically. It looks like it. And I have scores of water moccasins all over the place. Water moccasins come into the yard, and basically I try to relocate them. But let me tell you about water moccasins. The body of the water moccasin is so thick, it's like the armor to protect itself from owls and predators, that you can't break it, even with a sharp shovel. So the only way to get it is really you go for the head of the snake. No metaphors here. And this is based on the comments of President Zelensky from Ukraine recorded to the Sun. Now, obviously it's all metaphor, and I'm not suggesting anything, and I'm not saying anything. But that's just an idea for life, okay? Head of the snake. And in the words of, and I don't remember who it was before, in the 1930s and 40s, there was a great British statesman who said we must crush the adder in the egg. So the plan for world domination of Russia is very simple. Control natural resources. If you control natural resources, you have power. If you have power, you can influence the world. And examples of this are in Venezuela, right on the United States back door. Venezuela is controlled in a big part by Russia. China is also involved in there. Venezuela has arguably some of the top highest quantities of natural resources in the world. Africa, they're mining it like crazy, taking it from the poor, suffering souls in Africa, taking the wealth and bringing it under Russian influence. Ukraine has oil and gas reserves, especially in the Black Sea and Crimea and the Donbass region. Their whole strategy is if you control oil and gas, you can control the world. They're going to be trying to take these natural resources, even if the US helps Ukraine or not. If the US doesn't help Ukraine, it will just accelerate the process. Mendeyev even alluded to claims on Alaska. So they don't need to take the land. They just need to divide and conquer the West. And they do it in various ways. You look at why Finland is currently closing its borders. You look at their strategy. They're long-term players. Russia has existed for hundreds of years. The plan to attack this brutal invasion in Ukraine has been in the plan since at least 2003 on paper. And that's from insiders. So they take their time in planning. That's 20 years. And they certainly have a plan to divide, conquer, splinter, polarize, politicize the United States of America. Look at the oligarch claims to some of the people who are, hoping to get into power. You can find a trail of these claims. I can put them, in links below, but it doesn't matter. Understand that the United States of America is not the third Rome. Russia is the third Rome. First Rome was in Rome. It collapsed, went to the Byzantine power, when that was collapsing, transferred to Moscow. And there's a convoluted story behind that. And maybe I'm talking too general, but it is the strategy. I lived in Eastern Europe much of my life. For Russians to control natural resources as a mercantilist imperial power, they will have the money to be almost unstoppable for world domination in terms of controlling the sphere of influence. If they capture Ukraine, they'll go for Belarus and then the Balkans. And from an insider, that was the plan on paper. Once they consolidate that power, they're already consolidating power in Latin America, Brazil, Venezuela, for example, and they'll continue to go that way until the United States will be isolated. And they'll continue to influence the United States, send people across into the United States, send illegal, perhaps, or fuel illegal, let's say, drugs going into the United States, and divide it politically until the United States is splintered and nothing left of it. The way to stop Putin is advice from Zelensky, advice from a World War II spokesman about crushing the adder in the egg. You cannot show weakness to this man. You have to show strength. Weakness, he will just walk all over. He's violated every single treaty that he signed. Every peace treaty is just a temporary regrouping. The Russian plan is world domination. We can stop it now. We can stop it. And it's really something that I personally feel strong about, because I have studied Russian history my whole life. Perhaps I'm a cold warrior coming from the 1970s, started studying Russian history. So if anybody has any questions or commentary about the Russian plan, let me know. But also, the silver lining is there would be a tremendous peace dividend at the end if we could just stop it now. And that's my hope. Thank you very much.